For that?
And no. Okay. Maybe swapping things out.
For that?
Although this would still be a bit strange, as Bossman just wonders what he's going to play in. Orisa Hog, that makes a little bit more sense.
So Triumph once again on the Batiste Zin, running a Hanzo Mei. Another staple of the DPS lineups now is that you have the Reaper Mei. You've seen a little bit of even like McCree or another projectile, but Hanzo Mei, another very good, very active composition we've seen a lot where it breaks the shield very quickly. You have a Halt Dragon to force Immortality Field to get some key pickoffs, and you can also play those off angles. So already, Halto comes out, the wall, not in time to save Fossman. That's already one pick down. Team already having to reset.
And on some level, Ace of Spades is celebrating. It wasn't him.
It was not. At that time, when the Halto comes out and Fossman gets caught, sure, he shouldn't be in position to be caught by it, but it's up to the wall. It's up to the Mei to stop that Halt hook.
And the problem still continues is that the tank front line, and that was well-timed fortifying. Ace of Spades drops Fortify, stays alive. Naga catches Awkward, and this is much better for Tea Party. They counter-engage. They don't fall to the Halt hook on their second attempt, and just give them point A.
Have to drop that Immortality Field to keep Amadian alive, who was denying Triumph the rotation. Triumph still trying to get out, but then Ace of Spades able to find Decon. He gets walled off by Naga, and a much better approach for Tea Party, like you said. They don't lose anyone early. They actually get a fight. They actually get to fight, and then they win it.
Yeah, and the big adaptation there that we didn't really see a whole lot first two maps. What did Ace of Spades do? He saved his Fortify for the Halt, and he would have been hooked in, but well-timed ability usage prevents the death.
Both squads still playing this mirror matchup. And Triumph, they're going to have to reapproach. They are getting close to the Halt Dragon and Amp Matrix, but Tea Party overall ahead in that bank. They can move forward here. What we've seen a lot in that synergy is that after the Halt hook is used, you want to try to use the Halt Dragon Force Immortality and set up your Mei.
That's an interesting time to use Amp Matrix there. I think it was used pretty preemptively by Tea Party. I got to drop the Dragon, push things back, and rid of the value from Triumph's Amp Matrix. And the Dragon ends up with two! Amadian's Dragon, very much on target. Drops the Dragon to his own, takes down his counterpart. Now gonna be rotating around, still a bit at a disadvantage, just Triumph. Got under pressure, drops the shield again. Well, be buying a little bit of time. And I just wonder where Smito is here. Smito was off on the flank, looking for Tea Party.
Smito's just trying not to get picked. He's currently in the flank. The fact that he hasn't been picked yet is huge. He's still there. He's also there with Chop. Chop and Smito are on the flank, and all this pressure they put on the back line has allowed Triumph to not only sustain long enough, but Lynx with the supercharger from D-Cod has killed the front line.
Yeah, Smito was on a ninja mission that entire time there, and it paid off. Ends up falling now, but Triumph, spot time, push Tea Party back. Now they just shouldn't go so deep that they get cut off by an ice wall.
I have to say that was definitely a misplay for Tea Party. They need to choose. They need to choose. Are we going to the back? Are we getting those frags in the back? Or are we moving forward? Are we going to go forward, get Lynx and D-Cod off the field, and continue to push the cart? I think really, especially once you've already won the fight so decisively, you need to just move the cart forward, continue the cart presence.
And that's something about 2-2-2 relative to 3-3 is that you have to be worried about flanks a lot more. It's not just everyone all together at all times. Halt hook. Ice block is in, but they drop the wall. They really want to secure this. Wrong way to do it, but no. Okay, Lynx falls, but not before dropping the Blizzard. Now they're stuck in the Blizzard. The Dragon coming in from the other side. Transcendence maybe mitigating the worst of it. Tea Party drop the supercharger, try and bring it the other way, but Phosphor, the Deep taken down. And Matrix is going to be used. They're looking for at leleast one more out of it. Now it's a counter Amp Matrix in from Tea Party. Firing back the other way. Icy, the well-timed Whole Hog clears the way. Triumph about to pull themselves out of it.
Yeah, this fight is definitely over, especially with that Halt forcing not only Glove to die, but forcing the Mei shift. They're going to be cleaned up. And Tea Party, they get the early hook. They actually get the isolation onto Lynx, but then Triumph, they're there to back them up. They move forward. They use the trance. They use the Blizzard to make sure that Lynx can get out of there. And even after that, even if they get those early frags and Tea Party look for the flank, that flank was probably a little bit too aggressive from Amadian and Fosman. They go around that right side. Fosman tries to drop the whole hog. It just gets cleaned up. Amadian gets one, but it's just too late. When you're not actually cleaning up those frags on point still, you're not moving the cart. You're not beating the objective fight.
Next fight. Well, I was going to say next fight was about to be even, but then Ace of Spades just got plucked. Decon gets pulled in the other way, but the fall through not going to be there. And Triumph, think about the time they just bought with that one Halt hook combo, at least another 30 or 40 seconds.
And now Tea Party have to walk into the supercharger. They're going to be walking into the supercharger. Chops is about to have another Amp Matrix. And this is where it starts to get very, I would say, grim for Tea Party, and that they're walking into a sort of an ult cycle where you can use Supercharger to break shield, force Immortality Field, then you have an Amp Matrix, and then now you don't have an Immortality Field, so they have to either burn a Trance, they have to burn something else, one of their tanks are going to follow, otherwise no one gets caught by the halt hook, but they're still in the ult cycle territory here.
They're also taking a longer rotation. They're not playing directly on point. They're rotating around. It's going to be another cycle of poke going up between the two teams, and they're down on time now. They had 5 minutes when point B started. Now they're down to 1:30. They're moving forward, and look at this. They're just rotating. It's a constant rotation both sides, and the clock keeps on ticking.
The DCOD drop back a bit, is going to invest the Supercharger early. The shield break is happening right now, but so far, they just haven't found any value.
Dragon, they force up Transcendence. And Matrix out. Later Transcendence from Tea Party. They're going to be moving on in. Trying to take some advantage, but Samido gets Anto on the back. Triumph able to get a little bit more. Samido getting plenty of value. Ends up falling to Amani towards the very end, but this is still a better fight for Triumph. They're buying plenty of time. It's under a minute for Tea Party, and they need to reset.
Bodian does get awkward very late, so no awkward for Triumph. The rest of the spawners are going to be there in time, and really by the time Tea Party are completely reset, respawned, Awkward will be back. You see Tea Party making the swap now. They're going to the Reaper Mei. They don't want to play. They don't want to trade out here on this Hanzo Mei anymore with the Zen Batiste. They just want to go aggressive. They want to take this fight, and it's actually probably their best time to do so because Triumph don't have any ults. That was a huge ult fight for them. They do have pretty much last fight territory. They have to get there. They have to move the cart. Things are right now. They're not even prioritizing cart at all. They're going to just go aggressive and take the fight.
They're rotating right around Amadi and deciding to invest in a really aggressive teleport, but it works out. Able to find Samido immediately. One man up. They don't have to worry about the Hanzo threats. And this has been a good engage from Tea Party here so far. Now they have one back to the payload. I see. Dropping Whole Hog, making a little bit more space. Payload still quite a ways to go as we enter overtime, but Icy picks off Amadi and the one person they couldn't lose. And Triumph in a much better spot now. They're going to be back up to a full 6. They get the contest directly onto the payload. Mei versus Mei. Naga off on the flank. And Samido, he's back in. Emergency Doomfist in on the play, looking for the tank. Ace of Spades is going to fall. And Triumph is just grinding this one down.
This fight's over now. Triumph, they're just cleaning it up. And Tea Party, they tried so long to get a good fight on that Mei Hanzo. They really could never find what they wanted. They never had a good ult engage. Triumph consistently out-traded shields, had much better engages in the ult fights, and then they swapped to Reaper Mei at the end. They get the early pickoff. They say, okay, we need to get an early pickoff while they know they're ult neutral. They don't have a lot in the bank, but then they don't prioritize cards, and they lose Amadian early. And as soon as the Reaper is down, as soon as the Reaper is removed from the fight, especially when you're going into that Mei Hanzo, it means that Tea Party has no damage. They have no damage. They had no ults. And now they're getting held on second. And what is now a brutal second hold.
So we go into the next round, and that's unfortunate for Tea Party, given how things started out, where the first attack, they fell, but they came right back in, got point A pretty quickly, 5 minutes for point B, and it just does not pan out in the end. Now Triumph, they have a pretty easy road, not just getting the map, but the series. It is Tea Party's playoff hopes here on the line. And unless there's a dramatic turnaround in the quality of their play, they're likely to be heading home here in Kings Row.
Triumph looking like they're probably going to roll out once again on the Batiste Zen, and they've had a lot of success with it. They know how to, so far against Tea Party at least, trade out the ults. They use the Immortality Field to keep people alive. They also don't have to fear Transcendence, because we've seen a lot of teams at the Overwatch League level where they actually run sort of a Batiste Ana to counter the Zen. Because when you drop the freeze, even if they have Immortality Field, even if they have Trance, you can kill the Immortality Field, you can drop the anti, and still kill them do that. But since Tea Party is running Zen of their own, or running Reaper, Lucio Moira, they don't have anything to deal with the Trance. And if Triumph just consistently have much better ult engages and survive Tea Party trying to go aggressive, it's much better to have the Batiste Zen.
Tea Party, best chance here, going to be getting a first point hold. Just going to need to be a change in who gets the first pick off here, because so far, as we've mentioned, it's been a tough go for the front line of the Tea Party. Some adaptations were a little bit better in the last exchange, but so far, Triumph just rotating over, applying pressure to the point. Tea Party, you need to make a move soon.
Tea Party are playing that Ana now, so they're currently going to wait. They get the anti on 2. Can they kill the frags? Can they get DCOD? He's antied.
DCOD's down, but so is Ace of Spades. At least a trade here from Tea Party as they try and hang on. Triumph unable to keep full pressure onto that point. HamTornado out of it. And Triumph, though, they have plenty of time on their side. Even as this fight goes against them, that's a strange dragon.
That was a questionable dragon. Amadian has been 1 HP for a very long time. He got hit by an icicle, doesn't get healed, and sure, they win the fight now. But the problem when you don't have a dragon for Tea Party is that that's one less thing to force immortality build. It's one less thing to have as a combo when you look for your halt.
Vito can open up with the dragon of the zone, and it connects! Amadian caught by the dragon early. And Triumph now with 2 up, 6 on 4. The fight quickly going to go in their favor. Triumph, they get point A, and now this is going to have to be a very, very long hold for Tea Party on point B. Point C, not a factor. 5 minutes left to defend, or their season is over.
And that was beautiful aggression from Awkward. Very unexpected aggression, where as the Xin, Awkward flanks into the high ground and forces Amadian off, and he falls into the dragon. Now, Amadian is going to find Subito when he's looking for the poke, but it doesn't really matter. Sure, it stymies the poke a bit, but by the time Subito's back up, they're just going to regroup on cart. It just stops the ability for Triumph to poke here.
Lynx, meanwhile, setting up for the Mei ambush here. You see it every now and then, and if Tea Party, they were extended, they're going to get caught by the Blizzard.
They're walking here to take the fight close to there. Boston does have that heal bomb. They can't look to go over the shield.
Already a Maze picked off on the other side. Lynx goes in, drops wall, uses the Blizzard, and this is such a good opening. Amadian Blub throws him with Ace of Spades. And the sneaky Blizzard pays dividends. Tea Party, their season about to end here. They might get one more attempt to delay, but it's going to be rough.
Antal's going to have to go Lucio. They can't lose Ace of Spades. He's hiding. Lynx knows that he's hiding over here. They're looking to try to get the stagger. They will not get it. But can they even touch point? They have to rush in there. They don't have a beat.
2 meters, 1 meter, gone! Triumph moves on to the semifinals tomorrow, and Tea Party eliminated in record time.
Now that is what when we talk, will the teams, will they splat or will they fly when pushed out of the 3-3 nest into the harsh reality of the new 2-2 world? That is a splat. That is a resounding splat.
That was a splat with additional enhanced sound effects added at the very end.
And it is rough. It's rough. I mean, there's nothing else to say is that if you just don't adapt fast enough, if you're not ready to play that style, and Triumph clearly seemed like they were prepared to be playing this, they seemed to have a lot more practice, they were much more coordinated overall, then that's just how it works. It's
a tough lesson to learn, too, where it's single elimination playoffs. 2-2-2 is something that, as we've talked about extensively, even teams in the Overwatch League haven't all adapted too well. So I think we saw a weaker Tea Party here than we saw during the regular season, even, where off regular season results, still would have expected Triumph to win this one, but not dominate quite in the way that we just saw.
I think that's definitely something I can agree with, is that Tea Party, they didn't have the best results in regular season, but they had, they sort of remind me of a bit of a fusion and type of that. They have really high highs occasionally. They have some strong carry potential, but they're uncoordinated at times. They're sort of inconsistent, but it seems that they can hang at least with those top 6 teams. But then with the meta shift, it was very clear that they were just not at the same level at Triumph at all. They weren't close. They just did not have the level of coordination, the level of practice needed.
Well, guys, the first series is over, but we still got plenty left to go. Coming up next is going to be Uprising taking on the Legion. Stay tuned.